have now Pearl and her activities with t-shirts and all these sorts of stuff. So I'm interested. I want to learn. I'm going to learn today. So, welcome, Pearl.
Thank you. Hi, Pearl. Hi, everybody. Thank you to Dr. Patzi for inviting me here. You know, she said I'm having this herbal healing, presentation forum. Would you like to come? And I thought, well, what I do is kind of like healing the environment, because I'm an advocate for repurposing your textiles. Before you go out to the store and buy something new, look in your cupboard and repurpose what you have. Okay. So that's what I do, and I help you along with that. So I'm open for business. You can find me at Sanokia.com. Okay, so my name is Pearl, and basically what happened with me is that I started, I got laid off, and I decided to go back to my passion, which was fashion. And I just jumped in because I had studied fashion years ago. And I thought it was going to be just a simple thing, you step out and you step back in. But lo and behold, everything had changed. Fast fashion had come into mode. What I found out when I did some research was that we were buying 15 times more clothes than we did X amount of years ago. And also on an annual basis, there was a statistic with respect to the Rogers Center that said on an annual basis we can produce enough discarded clothing to fill up that center. And that was it was horrific to me. And I saw another stat the other day. I think these people were in, it could either have been Netherlands or Germany, one of those countries, and basically they said they were giving away free clothing because they had enough clothing in their environment to clothe 6 generations down the line. Okay, and they were giving away free clothing, and somebody called me and said, well, is this here? And I said, no, it's not here, but what you can do is repurpose. And so this is what I'm advocating for. And today I did ask people to bring t-shirts. Did anybody bring t-shirts? Yay! One person.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
She knew the assignment, and she did. Excellent. Well, I'm really glad you did. I don't know.
I didn't understand the assignment.
I told her to bring shirts. I don't know.
So a lot of times did you bring a t-shirt?
I did.
You have it? Okay, great. So another reason why I do this is because the clothing and the textiles we use, they have stories attached, right? So if you wouldn't mind, could you bring your t-shirt and just tell us a little something about this t-shirt?
Your only oh.
Yeah. Yeah, we buy when we see something, something attracts us to it. It talks about the state of your mind, so what is your name?
Hi, Shauna.
Hi, Shauna.
Hi.
Hold the mic and just tell us I'll hold it up for you. Just tell us a little bit about this t-shirt and what it means to you.
I think that's explanatory, kind of.
That's a nice coverage.
I like it because it's yellow. It's my favorite color.
Okay.
And a friend of mine actually printed the words on it. I'm not sure how dear it is, but I wear it a lot. As you can see, it's faded. Is that it?
Yeah, no, that's great. Thank you. Here you go. So a lot of times, if you don't mind staying for a little bit, a lot of times what we do is once we hear the story, then the story sometimes dictates what this should be repurposed into. Right, so you brought it today, it was a repurposing exercise. Did you have any ideas about what you would like it to be made into, or?
No, I have no idea why I was bringing it. I just know that I read the paper and it said to bring a shirt. So
right.
This is the oldest one I have.
Okay, so we know that it's your favorite color. So right away, if you wanted to keep wearing this t-shirt, there's lots of things that you could do to it that could kind of what we call upcycle, so make it into something fashionable. I love the fact that the writing on it says "killing it" every damn day. That's what it does. So those are speaking words, and what I was gonna actually demonstrate today was making a quick cushion. So this could be something, you have your slogan there, it's on the cushion, it's on your chair, and if anybody bugs you, you can throw it at them. But, but right away, but it's an affirmation for you, you see that every day. And so it would give this t-shirt a second life. Yeah, so if you want, we can follow along while I show a quick no-sew, make a cushion demo. Okay, so you can have a seat, but before I do that, let me just run through a quick presentation because, sorry. Okay, can everybody see this? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what I am advocating, right? And you don't need to be the Uber seat sewer or an Uber DIY person to repurpose your stuff. Basically, there's a saying, I think it's a Caribbean saying, probably Bayesian origin. If it's not, you can, tell me otherwise. But they say every poil of a tile. So every spoil is a style, right? And so, you can be the person to create that something new.
Style can't spoil.
What is that?
Style can't spoil.
Okay, Jamaican style can't spoil. When I go home, Ian's gonna tell me off for my poor accent. Okay, so just some facts. So 2 million t-shirts are produced annually. Okay, now this is an old number. It might have increased because the population has increased. Okay. It's gonna take a while, and each t-shirt takes 2,700 liters of water to produce. So these are all the water bottles. They're $2.50 each. Just think of all that times 10.
Really?
Yes, really.
For one t-shirt.
For one t-shirt. So a lot of that has to do with growing the soil, adding the water to the soil, and also the dyeing. The whole dyeing process takes a lot of water. Okay. And just to refine that down to how much water you drink per day, like how many of those bottles do you drink per day?
None.
Okay, you need to. We were talking about nutrition a while ago. You need to drink water. Well, not the bottles of water, but you need to drink water. Okay, and okay, this is just me showing off how much. Okay, so 1 liter, 3 liter, or 5 liters. I mean, different people drink different amounts of water. Be that as it may, do the calculation because you saw all those bottles there, and it takes one, so you can look at the bottles and figure out how much water you're actually, if you wear a t-shirt, how much water you could be drinking, or how many people could be drinking that t-shirt on a daily basis. And then just if I can guilt you a little further, 703 million people have no access to basic drinking water in the world. This is a stat from the UN, right? And then 2 billion people lack safely managed drinking water, which means there's probably very little filtration or oversight that goes into the water that they have available to drink. Okay. So, right. There are a ton of ways that you can repurpose anything you have in your closet. And this is where I'm gonna ask you to just tell me ways that you can repurpose stuff that's not necessarily involved sewing. Just shout it out.
Tie up.
Whoop.
Wrap your head.
Wrap your head. You take something and wrap your head. Okay. But what can you actually do to the cloth or the garment? I'm sorry? Rip it. You can rip it. You can cut it.
You can make it a rag.
You can stain it. You can make it into rags. Yes. You can dye it. You can paint it. And you can add things to it. You can add lots of things to it. Okay. When you're thinking about repurposing, just like how we talked to Shauna, is it Shauna? Just like how we spoke to Shauna, we spoke with Shauna, we can ask ourselves, how much do I really like this item, right? What do I want to do with it? What would I like to see with it? You know, if somebody gave me something that was dear, So you want to keep it, you want to make a memento out of it, so what do I want to do with it? You also have to look at the condition of it. If this thing is old and raggy, then make a rag out of it, right? If it's because, sometimes some people come to me and they bring me stuff and I look at the quality of the cloth itself and it's knotted and it's stained and you really, so the easiest thing to do with that if you don't want it to end up in the landfill is just make a rag out of it, okay? And you don't want to go and put a whole lot of work into something that's already bad quality. All right. So now, this documentary is available on YouTube. That shocked me, and this was one of the main reasons why. If you come to me and you say, Pearl, I want you to make a new dress, and you are a new customer, then I say to you, no, I'm not doing it, or I charge you something that's really exorbitant, right? Because we have a lot of clothes in our milieu, and a lot of it ends up in the places where we vacation, right? In the waterways. Basically, what happens is when you use something and you throw it in the bin or you give it to a secondhand clothing outlet and we buy it, or there's some that are really bad, then it goes into a few places. It goes into the incinerator. That piece of cloth ends up in the atmosphere, right? The smoke,
Particles.
sorry, no, I'm actually talking the exhaust.
Oh,
It ends up in the atmosphere, and that is not a good thing for us to breathe in. A lot of the textiles, when they get into the soil, they don't break down for a couple hundred years. In fact, I saw something on Instagram where somebody buried a piece of polyester, a cotton, and a blend. And the piece of polyester was 6 months. When they pulled it out, it looked the same. Right? They buried it underground. When they pulled it out, after 6 months, it looked the same. When they pulled out the cotton pieces, it was tattered, right? So it had been decomposing. But a lot of the polyesters, the stuff that, don't need to iron, that, when it goes in, it doesn't really decompose for a long time. Okay, and what that does is all of this stuff leaches into the soil and, leaches into the water. So this here was a documentary that I saw that had me scandalized because I think this mound here is in Ghana, okay? So when we send, a lot of us, we like to send our stuff to the Caribbean, send it to, or we give it to the diabetes people and they send it offshore. They don't have the robust waste management systems that we have here in Canada. So when they throw things away, it ultimately ends up here, okay? And that is just not good for the environment. So, oh no, I don't want. Okay. Okay, so I just want to test your knowledge. We're just going to run through this really quickly, and let me know. Just put your hand up if you know the answer. So, what is the estimated amount of textile waste that ends up in Canadian landfills each year? Anybody? Trillions? 500,000 tons. So I don't really have a concept of what a ton looks like in my mind, but it seems like a big number.
basically 500,000 elephants.
Elephants.
Yeah,
Thank
elephants
you.
is basically like a ton.
Thank you. So there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, what percentage of textiles discarded in Canada can be reused or recycled? Any guesses?
Oh, could be, I would say about 70 to 55.
You're very close. The number is actually 85%.
Okay.
Yeah, so if we all get on board, we can actually prevent a lot of the stuff that goes into the air and goes into the landfills from happening. And I will just do one more. What is one of the best ways consumers can reduce fashion's environmental impact? I heard
Stop
it.
buying.
I heard it. Yes. Okay. So That was the prize question, so you can come and collect them. You can come. You can come and collect a bonnet. You can collect a bonnet for me.
I like this. That's why you need to pay attention.
Please wear it with
Oh, that's
So without further ado, I am just going to do a quick demo. I said to Shauna, I'd show you a no-sew way of making a cushion. So do you want to hold this?
Want me to hold it for you?
Yeah, thank you.
You want to hold it by your mouth?
Oh, sure. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So Shauna, here you go. And I mean, you can come and do yours as well if you like. Patzi, we do have time, right?
Yeah.
We have another 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Another 5 minutes.
Me next.
Okay. You're next?
Oh, yeah. I thought you had a T-shirt.
Okay. So we're gonna keep the limit part of it. Okay. I have here, so you can get there. This is a standard cushion size, right? So what I would do, put your T-shirt here, and we're just gonna lay this on here so that we can get your slogan in. Right? Just do it here.
Oh shit.
And
what did I just
you
do?
could have, if we had a ruler, we'd square it off properly, but we're gonna do this gorilla style today.
Oh, it's not showing.
So all you're gonna do is use this scissors, and you're okay to cut this. You're letting it go. All right, here we go. So you're gonna cut this along Okay, and we're gonna cut them here.
Price is right.
Killing it.
The irony of it
Now,
all.
because we want to square, we're gonna have to cut here. So I'm gonna
Hey,
make
God.
it's done with. Done with.
Repurposing.
It's gonna be a nice pillow.
No. You're repurposing. It was her day.
So it's almost done. Here, and then we're gonna do the same thing on this side here. Right? Here.
You get squared.
There we go. Wow. Right. So you see, does this look like it could be a cushion?
Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna do no-sew. So what we're gonna do here is, we're gonna cut off little strip here. And by the way, YouTube is a font of information. There are just a zillion people on YouTube who have repurposing ideas, and we can show you how to do different things. Right? And it's really fast. I mean, it depends on how fast you want to get it. But it's really fast. Okay. So now that we have 4 sides that are not sewed together, so we're gonna have to find a way to put them together. So all we're gonna do is take the piece and tie it. Now, you could also do this to stretch it a little bit, but you can tie it. Just tie it here. If you cut it, right, I would give it a second time. Okay? And then you keep on doing that. So we're just tying off the ends here, folks. Go top from the front to the bottom. And I mean, how long you want to make it, how short you want to make it, how fluffy you want to make it, it's all dependent on you and how much time you want to put into this. Okay, so right away we've stitched the bottom. Oh, we haven't stitched the bottom. I jumped at that, I thought we were finished. So we stitched the bottom. This is going to be a little smaller than we want because here we are, because this is so wide, what we can actually do here is put holes here, cut these into strips and tie them off. Okay? So we can actually do that while we listen to the rest of the presentation, Dr. Patzi, and then we'll show you the finished product at the end.
Yeah.
Is that okay with everyone?
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay, so there you go. Oh, and look who's here. So what we're gonna do is and can I just say, so thank you all for listening. Again, Dr. Patzi, thanks for having me.
Yes.
If you would like to avail yourself of my services, I am at Zenokia.com. And I just wanted to let everybody know that everybody has a creative goal in their life. And on June 14th, I would like you to come out and demonstrate your creative skills by participating in this competition. This competition is open to anybody who's 18 years of age and older in the GTA. And basically you'll be competing with within 20 people for $3,000 worth of prizes, the top prize of which is an industrial machine. What do you have to do to get this? You're asking? So basically we're gonna do this. We're gonna give you pieces of discarded clothing and scraps, and then we're gonna give you limited tools and limited time. And you're going to repurpose it to do something. So round one, the repurpose is just using scissors and double-sided tape. Round two, we're gonna add hot glue. And then round three, we'll bring out a sewing machine which you can use if you want. Okay, so this is on June 14th. We are looking for people to participate. And if you just want to come and spectate, then please, you can purchase your tickets on Eventbrite. They are $30. We will have vendors, a community vibe, and you can come out and support the people who you love and support healing of the environment as well. Okay? So, thank you very much for having me. Listening to me.